All right, guys, welcome to episode 11 of A Journey to One Bitcoin, where I sit with you every single week and we stack Bitcoin together. I finally did it, guys. I got a little camera here for my computer so that I can show my face on this channel. I wanted you guys to see this is a real channel. This is not AI. This is not, I'm not trying to hide behind my investments here. This is I'm a real person doing real investing every single week into Bitcoin. It is a bit awkward. I don't like the camera. I'm a bit camera shy, but I'll get over it. This isn't about me. This is about stacking Bitcoin. So who cares? All right, guys, I'm gonna jump right into it. Let's get going on this sheet. If this is your first time being on this channel, the point of this channel is I sit here every single week and I literally show you my buys. I show you exactly how much I invest into Bitcoin every single week, and I just continuously stack Bitcoin. I've been doing this for almost 6 years now, and I've built a very strong portfolio in wealth. I'm very happy with where I'm at this point in my life, thanks to Bitcoin being the majority of my investment portfolio. So I think the best thing to do is to teach others what I've done and how I've been able to build this wealth over time, and be very transparent about it. And so I've been literally sitting at my computer every single week. I drive my girlfriend crazy about it, just by making sure that I do my Bitcoin buy. The same way that I make sure every morning I brush my teeth before I go to work. It's the same thing. I make sure that every week I stack Bitcoin. And so the idea of this channel is to hold each other accountable, right? I'm going to be on here every single week. I hope that you join along. You create your own budget. You know how much you can realistically invest in a Bitcoin, and then you go ahead and just start stacking along with me. And this will be a kind of a weekly reminder. If you put the notification bell on this channel, if you subscribe, this will be a weekly reminder of, hey, it's time to put in your Bitcoin buy. Let's get to it. So follow along. Like, subscribe, and again, I'll be your weekly reminder into building wealth with Bitcoin. So if you've never seen this sheet before, this is a budget sheet that I built out. And if you want to get a copy of this budget sheet, just go ahead and write in the comments below sheet, and I'll go ahead and try to get one to you and figure out how we can get one over to you so you can go ahead and follow along with my actual sheet. But this budget sheet tells me how much leftover monthly cash flow I have every single month to be able to invest in Bitcoin. So in my case, based off of the income that I make, my expenses, this is my personal accounts, this is the amount that I can invest in Bitcoin within this month, the month of July. So I break that down into weekly buys, which you'll see here is $461.35. So every single week for the month of July, I am investing $461.35 into Bitcoin. The goal of this channel is it's called The Journey to One Bitcoin. Of course, we're trying to get to that one Bitcoin, but one Bitcoin is a long ways away, right? And so what we want to do is set smart goals along that way to be able to not get bogged down or down on ourselves because we haven't hit that one Bitcoin. It's going to take quite a while to get there, especially if Bitcoin keeps running up, which we expect it to do. I guess the idea more than anything with this kind of smart goal is, shoot for the moon and land amongst the stars, right? The idea is we're going to try and get to the one, but hey, if we get to 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, that's a really hefty investment in a Bitcoin, and that'll be worth quite a bit, in my opinion, over the next 5 to 10 years. And this is a long-term wealth building plan. I'm not saying that tomorrow you're going to get rich with Bitcoin. It does not work that way. Even the guys that bought, back in 2013, they didn't get rich overnight. It took 15 years for them to be multi-millionaires, in some cases billionaires, depending on how much they bought, and assuming that they held throughout all the ups and downs of Bitcoin, which is one of the hardest parts of Bitcoin. It's the psychology factor, or the psychological factor is what I mean. The psychological factor of Bitcoin is where it really gets difficult, because when it gets down and really down, you're looking at sometimes 70% drawdowns. It gets quiet, okay? A lot of the YouTubers that you'll watch during the bull market, they'll disappear. And they'll come back during these bull markets. I've seen quite a few of that. Some of them stick around the whole time, but it does get very quiet, and sticking this through day to day, week to week is really difficult when Bitcoin's down. So again, follow along. I'll be here every single week. That I can promise you. This is what I've been doing anyways. I'm just documenting it now at this point, so it doesn't change my lifestyle. I will so just to get into last week, we did set up a Bitcoin buy. I'm going to show you right now, right here in Kraken at 116. And if you guys were watching or weren't, we did do a 2% decline on that buy. So we set it up at 2% under the current value of Bitcoin last week, which was around 116.050 is where we set the buy at. Bitcoin was bouncing around 118, and it actually ended up filling throughout the week. There was a drawdown of Bitcoin, and I'll show you that now on Kraken. So we got this filled at the 116, I think it's 045. So I'm going to go ahead and update that here. It filled at that price. So we got it at a Bitcoin at a really good price. And again, I really don't care too much about that. It's just fun to catch those drawdowns if we can. So good news is we don't have to force fill this week. We can just go ahead and put in our buys for this week. So let me jump right into Kraken. Here's where we're at, and this is what I wanted to show you guys. I had set the Bitcoin buy last week, and it filled yesterday, July 24th. I don't know what time this is, 11 o'clock at night, and it filled at 116.045. So really cool. I got the notification on my phone that it filled, and I said, great, amazing, that's awesome. So I want to show you guys, this is the 1 week chart. We were able to pick up Bitcoin at this 116 level, right around a little lower than that, 0.45, like right in this range, which is cool. Bitcoin had been bouncing around up here last week. Actually, for the whole week, it was bouncing around up here, and then when it drawed down, we were able to pick up that 2% decline. So really cool. We got Bitcoin at a little lesser price than most people at this point. So, and then it's come back up to this 118. We're going to do the same exact thing this week. We're going to go ahead and put in a Bitcoin buy. We're going to put together a 2% drawdown, and we'll see if it fills. It might not, and if it doesn't, that's fine. Again, we'll just force fill it. So let's go ahead and put in that Bitcoin buy for this week. My weekly investment is 461.35. Actually, I can see it right here. We can put in my USD balance, 461.35, the full amount. That's what we're investing in a Bitcoin this week. And I'm sorry that I'm looking this way, guys. This is where my monitor's at. I'll see if I can fix that with the camera. Again, this is my first time doing this with an actual live camera going. So 461.35, we're all set. I never do the buy now. Again, we're going to do the custom order, and this is how we get these fills a little lower than the current price. And if you do the buy now, you're going to get a markup price from Kraken, so you don't want that. So we're going to go chart, and again, I'm literally just going to go 1, 2. It could draw down to the 115. We'll do it. We'll try it out and see what happens. And if we need to force fill, we'll make a force fill on the next video. But hey, we might be able to catch this drawdown. So I do again 2% drawdown. Every time you click one of these, it is a 1% reduction. So that's 1 and that's 2. Gonna click select. 461.35, that's our budget, and we're gonna click review. All set. All right, we've got our fee of $6.82. Can't forget that, and 115.706. Let me jot that down here real quick. So I put here $6.82 is my fee, and we're setting it at 115.706.13. And we'll see if that fills and does what it needs to do. Cool. I'm going to confirm. And we're all set, guys. That's our buy for the week. Going to jump right back into the accumulation log, and we're going to set that up. So actually, I'm going to update this because this, well, actually, I'm going to leave that. Let's leave that there. Let's go ahead and put here 7/26, 2025. We're going to change this to Kraken. And again, guys, if you want this sheet, go ahead and put in the comments below sheet, and I will find a way to get this over to you. so you guys can use this sheet as well when you build out your stuff. And what's really cool about this sheet is there's quite a bit of cool features on this sheet, but it gives you the live BTC price. And it doesn't update in the moment, but it updates about every 20 minutes or so. And every time you open up this sheet or refresh it, it'll show you the updated live BTC price. So really a cool little feature on this. And then you also get to see your weighted average Bitcoin price. So however much Bitcoin you've bought. So we were buying Bitcoin at 106, 108, 103 when we first started. And then it'll take the weighted average, meaning how much you've actually invested, and then at what Bitcoin price, and it'll calculate your average Bitcoin buy-in. So right now we're at 108 and Bitcoin's at 118. So we've made a nice little spread on Bitcoin since we first started this channel, which is expected, right? During a bull run, I want to keep that in mind. Don't get bogged down if that goes down. Again, it doesn't matter. This is a 5-year plan, for minimum 5-year plan, and 5 years you'll see some serious returns. Again, I've been in this space for almost 6 years now. I would say 4 years you see some real serious returns, but call it 5 years just to be safe. And that's really where you'll see the serious returns on your stuff. All right, so 461.35. Again, we've done this every single week for the month of July, just accumulating Bitcoin little by little. Our fee again is $6.82. And the actual invested amount is 454.53. All right. Again, guys, if you get this sheet, everything in orange is what you're going to fill in. Everything in gray automatically fills. It's all calculated and set up for you to do that. So it's a very user-friendly sheet. Okay. The Bitcoin price that we set it at was 115,706.13. And we're all set there. And this one filled at the 00. So we got a really nice price there. All right, so we're all set. Our Bitcoin amount purchased for this week is 0.0039. And if it fills at the 9.38, if it fills at the 115 price, we get 9.38 in profit and loss, which is awesome. We're making good headway here with some profit and loss. But again, I don't care about that for the time being. We are here for the long term, so we'll be checking this every single week. There's no point in getting bogged down with daily profit and losses, or weekly. All right, jumping back into the financial sheet, where are we at? We are at 0.038 total Bitcoin holdings. That is freaking awesome, guys. To be clear, we started this channel on May 18th, where it's July 26th. Our goal is 0.1 Bitcoin, right? And we're currently at 0.038, almost 0.04. So we are almost 40% of the way to our initial goal of 0.1 Bitcoin. And guys, that's a huge milestone. I know I say this like every freaking video, but that is a huge milestone. That's a little bit more than $10,000 invested in Bitcoin. If you can get to that 0.1, that's a big number. And that's a strong investment into Bitcoin. I do think that we are at the very beginning of Bitcoin's dominance as a global asset. I just think anything before anything before the implementation of Bitcoin into the ETFs, into traditional finance, and basically the legal framework that's kind of being built around Bitcoin, which is now being very much accepted by governments and traditional finance. Anything before that, that was just like the wild, wild west. You didn't know what was going to happen. You didn't know if they were going to shut down Bitcoin or things were going to change with Bitcoin, or they were at least going to try, right? So it was very high risk to be investing before this point in time. Right now, it's like, okay, the risk has kind of been stripped, and Michael Saylor goes through this a bit. The risk has been stripped of the asset, which is very true, because now we're having legal framework being built around it. Banks are starting to implement it into their operations, right? And so now you've got something going on where it's like Bitcoin's not going to go anywhere. So this is really just the beginning. It is the ground floor to Bitcoin of it being basically accepted as an asset in the real world. So it's a really amazing time to get in. I think one day people will be looking back and saying, I can't believe that you were able to get into Bitcoin at $100,000. Like, that's unreal. The same way, when I talk to my grandparents and they tell me that they bought a house for $12,000, right? In 1965. It's like, the houses were going for $12,000. That's unbelievable. That's what we're going to be talking about 10, 15, 20 years from now when we're looking at Bitcoin at $100,000 price. So keep that in mind when you're doing this. And again, I'll be here every single week to remind you that's the point of this channel. We're just going to stack humbly and continue to build our Bitcoin wealth. That's it. Very simple, guys. If you have any interest in this sheet, again, comment below, put sheet, and I will get over a sheet to you so you can follow along with my actual sheet. Or, of course, you can build out your own. It's obviously, if you know how to really work Excel, you can build one as robust as this and even add some cool features. Or you could build out a really simple one that doesn't need to have all of these graphs and all of these things, and do the same thing. Next week, guys, I'll be posting again. We'll be doing a rebudget for August. Right, so we've got to go through all my August expenses, take a look at what I'm going to be doing there, what my income level is looking like for August, and then deciding how much we're going to invest in Bitcoin within the month of August. So we'll do that next week on the August review, and that's it, guys. I have a couple things. I have a TikTok channel as well where I'm doing basically this same thing, just literally in 60 seconds. You get to watch me put these Bitcoin buys every single week. I'll also start putting some educational stuff on there as well. I'm heavily on LinkedIn. I have I post 4 times a week, maybe 5, on just different educational things on Bitcoin, security, self-custody, how to air gap transactions, things of that nature, where it's more so a security side of self-custody. And I'm also on Instagram. You can follow me, the Bitcoin Blueprint, and I'm posting a few times a week there. So again, guys, if you like this channel, follow along, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and comment below sheet if you want one of these sheets so you can go ahead and follow along with me every single week and stack Bitcoin with me. All right, guys, I will see you again next week. Have a good one.